There are plenty of absolutely incredible games on Xbox Game Pass, from big AAA titles like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 to smaller indies like Jusant and Lil Gator Game. That's what makes it such an enticing offer for prospective subscribers, as it promises plenty of value for the money spent. Of course, trawling through the hundreds of games on offer can be difficult, especially if players have a specific genre in mind that they want to play. Whether it's the best cozy games on Game Pass or the biggest RPGs, there is absolutely something for everyone on the service. However, when it comes to FPS titles, it gets harder to narrow down the absolute best titles. Luckily, there are a handful that stand out above the rest and are worth playing. From iconic Xbox masterpieces to brand new releases, there are so many great FPS games on Xbox Game Pass. The players now have access to some of the best FPS games around now that a handful of the Call of Duty games have made it onto Xbox Game Pass. However, between MW3 and Black Ops 6, there is an obvious and clear winner. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is a thoroughly enjoyable FPS game, from its wild and weird narrative to its captivating multiplayer that has brought the series back to its roots. There is a lot to love about Black Ops 6, so it's no surprise that its reviews were so positive. There will undoubtedly be more Call of Duty games coming to Xbox Game Pass in the future. However, Black Ops 6 will always remain a must-play thanks to it benefiting from the many lessons the series has learned up until this point. Even for those who aren't huge COD fans, Black Ops 6 is nevertheless a thoroughly enjoyable shooter and a great excuse for picking up an Xbox Game Pass subscription. The Master Chief Collection bundles together 6 Halo games, including the remakes of Halo and Halo 2, the original Halo 3, Halo Odds, Halo Reach, and 343's first entry into the Halo franchise, Halo 4. It's the perfect way to get all caught up on Master Chief's adventure up until the events of Halo Infinite, as well as play some truly phenomenal FPS games in one neat and handy package. These are truly some of the best games on Xbox Game Pass, especially thanks to the many enhancements they've received. To get through the entire collection, players are looking at around 58 hours of total playtime, which is quite a long time. However, the investment is absolutely worth it, especially for those who have never touched the series before. This is a must-play collection of games, some of the most influential and exciting FPS titles available, and anyone with an Xbox Game Pass subscription absolutely has to give them a whirl. Of course, those looking for a great FPS on Xbox Game Pass need look no further than Halo Infinite. Whether it's the bombastic open zone campaign that carries on the legacy of Master Chief or the constantly updated multiplayer that has come a long way since launch, there's plenty to enjoy in Halo Infinite. It has come a long way since its initial launch woes, offering players a compelling multiplayer experience with years of updates. There's the ability to play with friends, against strangers, or even alone with bots. No matter how players want to approach the multiplayer, there's plenty on offer to get stuck into. It helps that the campaign is a lot of fun too, offering players lots of freedom when approaching the various objectives. Of course, it's worth going back and playing the original Halo games before jumping into Halo Infinite, as they're all connected. Ghostwire Tokyo isn't a traditional FPS in the sense that it doesn't have any guns. However, players still blast demons and evil spirits with their various magical abilities, all of which resemble guns in one way or another. For example, there's a scattershot ability that's akin to a shotgun blast, a rapid fire attack that's like an SMG, and more. All the attacks in Ghostwire Tokyo feel incredibly fun to use thanks to the impressive sense of feedback and gorgeous animations. Ghostwire Tokyo also has one of the most immersive open worlds, as players can explore a fairly faithfully recreated Tokyo. The streets are hauntingly beautiful to explore, with terrifying spirits waiting to kill the player around every corner. There's a lot to do in the open world, from collectibles to various engaging activities, all that helps make no second of Ghostwire Tokyo feel stale. It is a truly ambitious and engrossing FPS that may give a few players nightmares, but nightmares worth risking. Far Cry 5 may not be as fondly remembered as the more iconic entries in the series, but it's actually one of the strongest, if not the strongest, Far Cry games. Its narrative of cults, apocalypses, and American ideals is told brilliantly through the Seed family, who are some of the greatest villains in all of gaming. Each villain has their own engrossing story that coalesces into a truly harrowing ending that will likely sit with players long after the credits roll. It helps that all of this is bolstered by some truly excellent gunplay, as well as a fun multiplayer component that makes Far Cry 5 one of the best co-op shooters available. While the Far Cry series has always been known for its snappy shooting mechanics, this is an absolute highlight, especially thanks to the vast range of weapons at the player's disposal. Far Cry 5 is an interesting and endlessly enjoyable experience from start to finish, and well worth playing for free through Game Pass. Fallout 4 is an incredibly enjoyable open-world FPS, one that greatly benefited from improved gunplay over its predecessors. Now that it has received an impressive next-gen update, Fallout 4 is an even better experience that Bethesda fans or apocalyptic sci-fi enthusiasts should try. Its vast world is home to some of the most wonderful side quests, and while its main story is never quite as captivating, it's nevertheless an enjoyable tale with plenty of twists and turns. Of course, the previous Fallout games, including Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, are also available via Xbox Game Pass. While they lack many of the quality of life features that Fallout 4 has, they're still amazing experiences in their own right and well worth checking out. Regardless, Fallout 4 remains a thoroughly immersive and engrossing FPS experience that anyone with an Xbox Game Pass subscription should try at least once. Doom Eternal is the culmination of every lesson the series has learned across its storied history. It gives players a narrative with more gripping lore, the most refined and gory gunplay the series has ever seen, and additional mechanics such as platforming that completely transform the experience and give players something new. While it is quite a departure from 2016's Doom, at least in terms of overall flow, it brings enough new content to the table to satisfy everyone. This is the perfect distillation of everything that makes FPS games so great, and a phenomenal shooter experience on Xbox Game Pass. There are also 2 pieces of DLC that help round out the story, although these will need to be bought separately. Regardless, Doom Eternal is a truly one-of-a-kind game, a perfectly good entry point for those who've never touched the series before, and frankly, one of the best games in the Doom series. Deathloop is one of the more unique FPS games on Xbox Game Pass. It blends the wild and weird sci-fi Arcane Studios is best known for with incredibly satisfying gunplay and Dishonored-esque powers. Its time loop mechanic makes strategizing each kill and uncovering the various mysteries all the more enjoyable, and its implementation of multiplayer is as intense as it is fun. Deathloop also offers a pretty sizable series of open zones that are incredibly unique in their aesthetic and a joy to explore. Deathloop's critical acclaim came largely from its central narrative, which is full of quirky characters and a thoroughly engaging protagonist that carries the entire game. While it has some flaws, Deathloop never fails to feel entertaining and holds so much of Arcane's wizardry in its DNA. For those who loved Arcane's other masterpieces, Dishonored and Prey, Deathloop is a perfect balance of the two and a must-play. The original Crysis was revolutionary for many reasons, but it is best known for its PC-breaking graphics and engrossingly fun gunplay. Players can tear apart the environment as they move around the semi-open world before engaging in some pretty enjoyable stealth sequences. While the story is nothing special, Crysis's blend of action-packed first-person shooting and sci-fi military fiction makes for a captivating ride. For those who enjoyed the first Crysis game, the other 2 are also available on Xbox Game Pass. These are far more linear experiences, although that, in this case, heightens the overall experience. They're far more narrative-focused and streamlined, allowing the gunplay to shine through. Overall, the entire Crysis trilogy is a blast to play through and a must for FPS fans and those with an Xbox Game Pass subscription. Stalker 2 often feels like the definitive lone wonder of fantasy thanks to its gorgeously detailed open world and a plethora of novel mechanics that make it a harsh but fair experience. It's a standalone game, one that benefits from having played the previous entries but isn't reliant on any prior knowledge. There's a good reason why all the Stalker 2 reviews have been positively glowing, with each one praising its haunting atmosphere. Of course, for those who aren't a fan of horror titles, Stalker 2 isn't scary, at least not in a traditional sense. While it is a survival horror game, those who are a little squeamish can rest easy knowing that it lacks jump scares or needless horror. Rather, Stalker 2 is all about atmosphere, and it absolutely nails the bleak and horrifying nature of the zone and its people that was first outlined in the novel Roadside Picnic. This is a must-play FPS for those looking for an open world oozing with oddities and atmosphere.